Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Thank you for tuning into the channel. On today's episode, I'm going to take a look at this Scleich monster miniature that I found at the grocery store on sale. And let's check it out and see if this scales for a D&D adventure. And here is the Scleich model, that toy that I got at the Meijer supermarket. It does not have a name for what it is, but there is a series on YouTube if you want to follow along. They're a little series with the toys. This is part of the Eldrador creatures, and it looks like a Yeti. Scored him originally. This Yeti was $19.99. I scored it on sale for $13.99 and thought this would be a good price and scale for something in D&D. One thing that I like about the Scleich models, the paint jobs are pretty decent. I think the paint jobs are pretty decent, and they're tabletop ready to go for $14. It's not a bad price. So let's unbox this creature and see how it works for D&D. And here is our monster. I think he's a pretty decent size too. I think he will scale nicely for some D&D. And each one of these squares right here is an inch. So in D&D, each inch equals about 5 feet. So he'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, like 22 feet tall. And let's see, he would be 10 feet as far as he fits into this little section, which is 10 feet. So right here, I would put his size at huge. He's a little too gigantor to be a large size of an ogre. So this is more the size that we would have for giants in D&D. And oh look, there's a little bit of a plastic bit right there on his hand. This thing right here, I'm not too fond of. It's like some kind of ice stick or something, but I don't really care for it. I think it looks great without it. And the arms are articulated, and that's it. So he stands 22 something feet tall, 10 feet across. And if we pull out the monster manual, let's take a look in the back. And if we take a look in the back, we have the Abominable Yeti. And this Scleich fits perfectly with the statistics of the Abominable Yeti. On page 306 is a CR9 creature called the Abominable Yeti. It's a CR9, challenge rating 9. The size, it's a huge monstrosity, chaotic evil. Let's see, they're keen hunters, terrifying howlers, brute rampagers. An abominable yeti is larger than a normal yeti, standing 3 times as tall as a human. It typically lives and hunts alone, though a pair of abominable yetis might live together long enough to raise young. These towering yetis are highly territorial and savage, attacking and devouring any warm-blooded creatures they encounter. They scatter the bones across the ice and snow. So this miniature right here, $14, is perfect for an Abominable Yeti. Fits all the criteria of a huge monster. If you're just looking for a Scleich toy, this is very typical quality of Scleich. It's really well put together. Oh, look at this. You can make your Abominable Yeti left-handed. Maybe not. You can just pretend to make it left-handed. Here, I thought there were, oh look, you can. And look, you can make your Abominable Yeti left-handed with the weapon if you want. That's pretty cool. Left-handed or right-handed Abominable Yeti. But I think for our games, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I also plan to use this in our Frostgrave when we get back to playing in person. I think it'll be a really big creature. So hold on, I'll get some minis and we can compare scale for D&D. And here we have the miniatures next to the Scleich Abominable Yeti miniature, the ice monster. Not really sure what to call this guy. And he does scale perfectly with D&D miniatures, the miniatures that we make. The Scleich model works out perfect for an Abominable Yeti. His sizing is perfect. He takes up just enough space on the map, whether you play with gridded or non-gridded. Scales perfectly. Here's the workshop elves. Could be defending the workshop. Thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this review of the Scleich model, please hit the like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.